and welcome to Your Business TV, television with information that is positive and uplifting. My name is Laura Hartman, and I am your host. Today, we have a very talented guest joining us who is from the Maryland, D.C., and Virginia area, and he owns a film production company called Farmer Pig Productions. He also has an extensive acting background and a film degree. So without further ado, please welcome the very talented Kevin Leigh. And welcome to the show, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I haven't seen you for probably since, was it 2007 that I last saw you on the set of Trenches?
That was a fun day.
Yeah. Well, actually, I take that back because we've also been on the set of June DeGuizzo's film Full Circle. Yeah. So, which was, what would that was like 2009, 2010. So, but still, it's been a long time.
Yeah, something like that. And we had different festivals that we went into as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Too, yeah.
Yeah. So when I first met you on the set of Trenches, I think you were just like in the starting phases of doing acting.
I was.
Yeah. Okay. So, all of a sudden, 10 years later, you have a film production company. Okay. So how did you land yourself into owning your own production company? And I believe you own it with your brother?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My brother. Yeah. It's my brother and I, and we run this show together pretty much.
Okay. So you share the same vision?
For the most part. Yeah. But then, okay. we can figure things out. But yeah, for the most part, we have very similar visions on films and, different ideas on what to shoot, different sketch ideas, which we will get into. So
right. It's called Farmer Pig Productions.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name? And tell me how you got started.
Right. So we got started back in 2009. Actually, it was right before my father passed away in 2010. Oh. So when that whole situation happened, we were shooting films. It was just me, actually. It was just myself and a group of friends. And we started shooting, films, and I had a really great idea. So they were shooting my vision for that one. I was like producing that one, and they directed it, and they got things done behind the camera. So my father actually didn't have a chance to watch that film when it was released. It was my very first film that we shot. Yeah, thank you. But after everything was said and done, the film got released in 2010 summer, and that's, it was at a film festival in Fairfax, Virginia. And that's when I just thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I really want to shoot my own films because, the crew that I was working with, they were very busy guys, and, they have different things that they got to do, different films they got to shoot. So yeah. I can't just keep bugging them. So I'm like, you know what? Why not just run my own, see what happens? Okay.
So what was involved in starting your own production company? Did you have to go buy a bunch of cameras and audio and all that fun stuff?
More or less, pretty much, yeah. And we kind of thought about this. My brother and I spoke to him about this after, when that film was initially released in 2010, the very first film that I was, shooting. And my brother and I just thought of an idea. We're just like, let's just get some equipment. Let's just shoot our own stuff. And Dad, he would really love us to be working together and collaborating and, just coming out with all these ideas, like he always supported us in everything that we did. Wow. So the production company is basically commemorating him, remembering him, because the name actually, sorry, I didn't want to forget this, but the name Farmer Pig Productions was actually dedicated to my late father. Farmer Pig is his nickname.
Okay. Did he farm pigs?
No, that's fun. It's a funny story, but there was I don't have it with me right now. It's actually downstairs, but there's this little stuffed pig animal, like a stuffed farmer, like a pig farmer animal, stuffed animal, and we got this little stuffed animal when we were younger, and he used to just, he used to be animated. He used to use it as a little puppet, like, I'm a farmer pig, and he's and he's pretending to be this pig. So then that became part of his persona. So we always called him Farmer Pig.
Right. Okay.
So he will always be the Farmer Pig, So it's like, after he was gone, it's like, we want to dedicate this film company to him, because he would have always wanted us to work together, collaborate, and build something and film things and create.
Right.
So it's like, let's dedicate this to him.
Aw, well, that's so sweet. I'm sure he's watching from the other side and is very proud of you both, you know. So what are some of the first films that you did? And then I know you do sketches, which you don't hear that very much with the independent films. So you'll have to talk about that.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. So with so first we started shooting short films. That was the beginning of this whole process that we got into. So it was like short films, you know, like we saw people online putting out their short films, and we've seen colleagues and peers like releasing all their works. And I'm like, this is so awesome. Let's film something. This is great. This is just wonderful. And there's so many ideas out there. I mean, there's really no wrong answer to film.
Right. So did you write your own stories, or did you use other people's stories to do your short films?
No, so my brother actually he's like the brain behind all this for the most part. He's the writer, and he just kind of thinks about things, and it's like, okay, let's shoot it. This sounds like it's fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like a great idea, or it's mind-boggling, or whatever you want to, you know, whatever the situation is at the time. Let's just film this. Let's try it out.
Okay.
Let's build the storyboard. Let's get everything on board. Let's get the crew together. Let's start casting the actors, and let's give it a shot. Let's give it a go.
So had your brother had any experience in writing scripts?
No, so he kind of just got into it. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to write it. I'm going to follow the script formats online, like all the screenplays and everything, the professional screenplays, and just go by that. And then, you know, let's write it, and then we have people peer reviewing it, reading it over, making sure we don't have any typos and grammar proper. And then like, oh, does this sound right? Would a real person say this and say that?
Right.
So just different things like that, just to kind of get things moving.
Okay. So tell me about some of the first short films that you did.
So some of the first short films we did, I mean, we've done so many. I honestly don't remember every single one, but one of the first short films that we shot was called Game of Chance. And actually it was screened in DC actually in 2013.
Okay.
And so with that one, it's like a black and white type of concept that we decided to shoot. It has a very, if you've seen the movie Memento, it has a very Memento type vibe to it. I think Guy Pearce was in that one, I believe. The cinematography is very similar to that, but obviously the idea is completely different. It's pretty much a chess game.
Okay.
So it's pretty much saying like life is a chess game.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So how did it end up doing in the festivals?
It did pretty well. It was received well. We got nominated for something, but it didn't, we didn't win anything, but I'm very honored to have it screened there,
Right. And to have it nominated and be one of your first, production short films. So that's cool. So I have a question because, my background in doing the film festival of June, we had a film that was from Poland, and it was in black and white. And when we did the Q&A, the guy that did the film, he described that black and white films give the viewer more of a sensation, or they have to use their mind more. If that's making any sense. I mean, they get more visually out of it. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. So I think what you mean is it's more thought provoking. It kind of makes you think things.
Yeah. I guess you can say that your eye is more focused. You're more visual, as to identifying things that are in the film. Whereas you see color and there's other commotion going on. You're going to miss some things. So you're more apt to identify more details.
Exactly. Yeah. It's more, it makes you, it's more thought provoking, and it gives it a kind of a noir type of feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's oh, wow, I gotta glue my eyes onto this. What's going on?
Right. Well, that's cool.
That's a 50s film or something like that. So.
Right. So then you got into doing some sketches. So let's talk about that. I mean, that's,
Right. Yeah. So we got ideas from sketches from YouTube, actually. So our inspiration from that, it was college humor. So we saw a lot of college humor sketches where they just kind of pick on ideas, and they're like, you know what, let's just make fun of this, or let's make something funny out of this topic or that topic. Sure. So it was college humor, and a show that we really like. It's a BBC show shown in the UK called Big Train, starring Simon Pegg and his group of buddies.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
So that's how we kind of got the idea. It's like, you know what? Let's just think of something completely ridiculous, and let's just go with the idea, and let's just shoot it. It's like, it doesn't even have to make sense. It's just something that's like really nonsensically funny. It's like, that's the best way I want to describe it. It's nonsensical humor.
Right.
Where you just watch it and you're like, this makes no sense, but this is hilarious. What the heck? Like,
right.
Why didn't I think of that?
Right. So you put these sketches and your films on YouTube. Do you put them anywhere else?
Yeah, for the most part, we put them on YouTube. Sometimes we run them on film festivals, and we show them there. For our longer short films, we usually keep those like limited audiences. So we show them at film festivals and things like that. But our comedy sketches are all on YouTube, and we have quite a bit of short films that are on YouTube as well. Okay.
So let's talk about COVID, because one of the biggest
elephant in the room.
Yeah, one of the biggest industries that's suffering right now, due to COVID-19 are a lot of the actors. Been hard, but people have been thinking outside the box, and you've done that with the virus. So describe what you've done.
Right. So during COVID-19, it's been tough for everybody. A lot of businesses are obviously suffering. It's not fun. And my business is really no different. I mean, we're having, it's tough for us too, but, we make the best out of it, with our own equipment and things like that. So we started filming something. Well, we want to use other actors too. So we want to play it safe.
Right.
So everything virtually is key, just to keep everyone safe and
sure.
each other. So we started shooting a quarantine web series called Sheltered in Place.
Yes.
So with this show, pretty much the actors and we're supposed to be playing real life people. So they would shoot their scenes on their own phones in their own homes, or if they want to go outside, they can film outside or do whatever they got to do, and then they send us the footage. And that's when we kind of clip it all together for them, and we make an episode out of it.
Okay. And how long did you have a requirement for them to, for like how long it needed to be, and whether, because the ones that I watched of you and your brother were comical. They're funny.
Thank you. So, it's our best. I mean, it could be funny to some, and yeah.
Were people making it more funny, like the other actors that submitted to you? Did they?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you tell them to think outside the box and just do whatever they want on a whim?
Absolutely, yes. That's key right there. Just like, don't think about it, just do. Like different acting classes and like different courses. Like just don't think about it, just do it. Like a lot of improv exercises. Like that's the best way to deliver comedy. Just to improv and just kind of go off the cuff and just go with it. Right.
Yeah, and and what you're doing also for them and for yourself is giving them some practice too.
Absolutely. Just to keep your mind sharp during the virus, so you don't lose it.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't know how long this is going to be lasting or when we're going to get out of the weed. I mean, it could be another year, 6 months, a year, who knows? Do you have other ideas that you have in your brain, you and your brother, as far as like doing that type of thing, like Shelter in Place?
Yeah. So we thought about possibly doing a season 2 out of it to continue the process, during these next few months, because like the first season got received fairly well. I mean, it was received fairly well. People were like, oh, this is really neat. It's nice.
Right.
So we thought about doing a season 2 out of it. We have other ideas too, where we can actually shoot films, like short films. So far, it's got to be very safe. So I do recommend actors to get tested. So if they want to film with us, they would have to get tested. Either we pay for it or they pay for it. We work things out. Or if they are filming, it's going to be pretty much a one-person shoot. My brother and I would be behind the camera, and we would just be masked up. We have our full face respirators, gas masks with viral filters and everything all set. So we're safe. So the actor just needs to, be on set, and then they just have to worry about themselves, and it's completely fine. So.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. My sister's fiance is an actor, but a stage actor. And so so theater is another one that's, they're suffering as well, but he's managed to get into a production where everybody's staying, like 6 feet apart and they're wearing masks on stage. So, and then of course they're limiting the theater, just like Little Theater of Alexandria. They've opened up their theater to do small crowds. So yeah. But have you ever thought about doing live productions or doing like Zoom productions? I mean, like I said, I know your brother's the creative one, but I'm sure you're creative too because you're in the industry. Yeah.
I think the creative process is a little different. I mean, I write some of the scripts too, so it's we kind of interchange between what we do, but for the most part, he does more of the writing than I do. But I'm saying we create in different ways. So my brother creates in scripts, and I create with performances and performing, like acting. So that's how I guess we kind of differ. But yeah, I mean, I thought about doing live stuff as well, like theater and, live shows or Zoom shows. I mean, because a lot of things are going digital now. Like this is our new normal for the time being, and who knows for how long. So yeah, obviously, I thought about it, but I just haven't really put the foot on the pedal yet and just start doing it yet. So that's just something, my brother and I have to discuss and just kind of figure out.
Sure. So
how to progress from that.
Sure. So how do you recruit the people that work with you? I know the DC area, DC, Maryland, Virginia have a lot of talent, like a ton of talent. I mean, it's a great area for independent films and a lot of festivals and stuff. So how do you, do you have like one place where you find people, or has a lot of it been word of mouth, or what's been your, the best way to find people?
So I'm sure a lot of local actors, including yourself, probably know of this website too. It's dragonutconnects.com.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually where we put out our casting notices, and we get a lot of emails and hits from that. And that's how we recruit actors, and they can audition for us and things like that. So that's how we've been getting actors over the years. And, obviously there's Actors Access and, things like that as well too. Other avenues to, find gigs and to put out casting notices for gigs, including ours.
Right.
So that's how we normally do it. And with crew, it's mostly who you know. So it's like, I want to trust my crew, my guys and my girls.
Yeah.
So so I usually know these people from like school, or they're a childhood friend, or, family friend, or I even have some family that they come in and they help sometimes. Like I got cousins, and my cousins come in and help as well. So, it's just pretty much who we know, but sometimes if we really need help, then same thing, we kind of post it up. Hey, we got a paid gig, we got, a boom operator spot open. If you have experience, send me your resume and, email that to me, and then we can discuss further details, things like that. So.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So what do you do post-production for your films and sketches? Do you do post-editing, or does your brother do post-editing, or do you have somebody else do post-editing?
My brother does the editing.
Okay.
So he's like the tech guy. He's like, I got all the tech stuff. It's all me. I got this. So.
Okay. Awesome. So pre-COVID, have things changed as far as what you're envisioning, and even post-COVID, what do you see in the future? And in other words, before COVID happened, what was your vision for your production company? And then since COVID's happened, what's your vision now?
So post-COVID, my brother and I, we want to keep shooting. We want to keep sending our stuff out to film festivals. We want to start traveling, maybe shooting in a different state, maybe even shooting internationally at some point. That's what we wanted to do. And, do more we want to shoot weddings and do things like that, just different avenues for business. We are a production company, so, shoot local commercials and, like I just mentioned, weddings and, different events, like private events or public events, just anything. So press events, things like that, like anything. But obviously, right now we can't do any of that, or very little. We just have to kind of pick and choose which things that we want to delve into now. I'd say after COVID, we can stay the course, get back to that and say, let's start doing some of this stuff. Like let's reach out to people locally, local businesses and things like that, especially now since they're going through a pretty tough time. So if they actually survive this virus, then they obviously want to get the word out like, hey, we're open for business. We're ready to go.
Sure.
We're back.
Yeah.
So, we want to help them, get through that process.
Sure. But I think that there's, because, I work in IT and I do some marketing, and I've had some businesses reach out to get help because of COVID. Have you had that? Have you had that opportunity for people to reach out to you?
Oh, not yet. Okay. Honestly, not yet, and not in terms of getting like relief or help or anything like that. But I'm sure it'll come later when things get a little bit more normalized. Because right now things are just very crazy. Like I think a lot of people are just worried more about like their livelihoods. Like, oh, what do I do for money? What do I do with this and that? So I don't think they want to do commercials and things like that just yet. I think that'll be a little bit later when things are a little bit more stabilized with the economy and our health emergency and everything. So
okay. So is there, for the many people who are actors out there, do you know if there are any online donations for actors to help them get by? Have you heard of anything?
That I have not. That's actually an interesting thought. So, I mean, okay. I would have, that gives me an idea. I'm gonna have to look out and see if there's anything like that out there, but I honestly haven't seen anything like that.
Okay. I think
not as of yet. Yeah.
For some reason, I'm thinking that there is, but I mean, if not, then I'm glad that maybe I sparked some ideas maybe in your brain.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah. So for somebody who's interested in becoming an actor or getting involved with your production company, should they reach out to you directly, or do you have any tips for them on what to do? I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily your production company, but somebody who, that's their dream. They want to do this. And, it's unfortunate COVID's happening because it's kind of, dumped on a lot of people, and I'm sure that once things get back to normal, it's probably going to be kind of competitive, or people just dropped off. It's kind of like how the IT boom was back in 1999, 2000, or 2000, after 2001. I worked in IT, and a lot of people that I worked with went to totally different fields. So
that's entirely possible. Yeah. I mean, it could boom up afterwards, or people might just drop off. I think it just kind of all depends on personal preference or where they are in their lives at the time.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, to get started with us per se, I mean, we're always welcome for new actors. We work with, experienced actors. We work with Screen Actors Guild actors, aka SAG, and we work with new actors, new bloods as well too. So I guess if they want to, they can feel free to reach out to us anytime at farmerpigproductions@gmail.com. That's our email address.
Okay.
So they can send us their resume, they can send us their headshot, a demo reel if they have one. Obviously, if they're brand new, then maybe just some snap photos, some snap pictures, or, if they have like a little resume, like, oh, I did this with my friend or something like that. Obviously, they can put that on their resume. So things like that. And obviously we shoot other things as well. So we do shoot headshots, my brother and I.
Okay. So you do photography?
We do photography, yes. And we shoot demo reels as well. We've actually helped quite a few local actors get their demo reels going by shooting demo reel clips to insert in their present reels, and that has actually landed them some pretty good jobs. And I was very, very happy with that when I saw that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I always thought I do OTT channels, TV channels, and I always thought, wouldn't it be cool to do, a bunch of like actor demo reels to show people, because
absolutely.
They're interesting to watch on YouTube, but why not watch it on Roku or Amazon Fire or Apple TV too? So
why not? Exactly.
Yeah. We're going to be watching some short clips of yours. Can you describe them?
Yeah, sure. So this next clip I'm about to show you right now is about like a dysfunctional like Thanksgiving feast between coworkers. For this certain instant, for the sketch that we did, it's about coworkers, and they're talking about like what their misfortunes are and things like that. And everyone's like clapping, like, oh, what are you thankful for? Oh, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for that. But it's all bad. Nothing's good, but everyone's clapping as if it's like, oh, this is so great. Oh, yeah. So.
Okay. And what's the name of it, or do you have a name for it?
It's called No Thanksgiving.
No Thanksgiving. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Start with you, Dwayne.
My wife filed for divorce last Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Terrific. Tobias?
I was scammed out of $800 from my bank account.
Oh, that's incredible.
Awesome.
I lost my house from leaving the stove on. I'm still homeless now. Yeah, all right.
That's really Tanner. I guess it's my turn. I'm glad to tell everyone that the entire marketing department has been laid off.
Oh, all right. Wait a second. I'm out of a job?
Wow. Okay. So, okay.
So that's the sketch, that little snippet of what we're going to show you there.
And what about this next clip? What about the next clip?
The next clip is another sketch that I'm about to talk about, and it's about a crazy, I guess, a crazy ex-girlfriend, and she's coming after this poor guy. He's like, trying to move on. He's, just going out in the street, just like, oh, let me talk to this girl. Let me talk to that girl. So he's being kind of skeezy, things like that. And he'll meet his girlfriend, and, the rest is kind of history, because let's just say she never goes away. She's always going to be there for him and with him.
Wait, is that my ex-girlfriend? Oh no. No. Ow!
Love me.
Yeah.
Bad dream, honey.
Oh, wow. Okay. So when you do these stories, do you take real life instances or experiences and then kind of manipulate them into a different type of story? Or do you?
Oh, all the time.
Okay. So the work one is kind of maybe something like that happened, or
Oh no, not necessarily. I mean, they're all just completely made up. Just
Okay.
what if this were to happen?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
It's more like
stuff
what if
that.
scenarios. Yeah. Okay.
What if scenarios, and it's like totally ridiculous, like I was mentioning earlier. So
Right. Okay.
as you know, I mean, I'm an actor as well too. So I produce and I direct, our little sketches and short films, and I do acting too. So I guess.
And you're quite good too. You're very good. Excuse me.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I guess it depends. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
So this next.
Take it from me. Sorry to interrupt, but,
No worries.
I grew up with a mother who does theater. So I literally grew up with a theater. And so you get to see like what talent is and what talent really, I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased, but I can tell theater acting and people who do acting in general, I can tell when they're really good and they're really passionate about it. And you're somebody who's really passionate about it.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Mm-hmm. As you know, I appreciate that. Because I do have a theater background, and I understand how theater is. Like it's very, very the process is very involving. Pretty much, I can't quite think of the word right now, but it's very detailed. You have to do a lot of character analysis and things like that. So I do have a lot of respect for theater actors. I'm not saying more. I don't want to. I'm gonna get nailed for this one, but I don't want to say I respect theater actors more than film actors. But I kind of do a little bit, because when you're a theater actor, you have to encompass so much more. There's so much energy and work and just time that has to get put into it, and there are no do-overs.
Right. There's no take one, take shot. 2, take 3. Yep.
There are no do-overs. You mess up, you screw up, keep on going.
Yep.
Pick yourself back up, you improv, you do what you got to do, and you keep on going. But with camera, obviously you can take 50 for all we care, and it'll still look great. So, I really do respect theater actors for that reason. And, I myself do want to do more theater because of that, because I'm like, that's like where my roots came from, because I did theater back in college. So,
Okay.
I do want to like start doing some of that over again. I know we didn't talk about that earlier. A lot of things we were
Right.
discussing so many things, so we didn't have a chance to get into that. But that's how I got started in acting in the first place, before Trenches, actually.
Okay.
Trenches was like maybe my second gig that I did, but I got into things first with theater, doing theater courses back in college, and that's what sparked all this that's happening now.
Sure. Yeah. So
Yeah, theaters. I really respect the whole theater process. And,
yeah. Yeah.
Film actors, of course, too. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of film actors are excellent. I mean, a lot better than
Oh, yeah.
I can ever be. So,
Right, but it's an art, and it's a lot. It's more about like practice too. I mean, some people have natural talent, but but I think people who really work at it and really feel that part that they're doing will end up showing it to their audience. So.
Absolutely, yeah, and you definitely have to feel it. You have to feel it for sure, because I'm definitely a first generation actor in my family. Like, no one else in my family has ever been a performer or actor or entertainer or anything like that at all. I mean,
Okay.
it's all been like analytical and like very, very numbers and very like data driven jobs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like things like that. So I'm definitely the first generation.
Yeah. So how did your family take it? I mean, what did they think about you becoming an actor?
They were very surprised in the beginning, because I started, like I said, I started getting into acting in college, and it was just to fill out my courses at first, because I actually wanted to get into IT in the very beginning, kind of like you.
Okay.
And I'm like, let's do IT, because I'm gonna make money, and it should be fine, it should be fun. Let's do this. And I ended up not being so great at IT. I'm not gifted in that way, in terms of like, I'm not book smart like that. And I just didn't really, for me, I'm like, but I feel like I enjoy it, but maybe it's something else. So I started taking more elective courses in high school. So I did dance, I did public speaking, which got me out of my shy shell, because I was very shy back in college, and early college, and definitely high school and elementary school. Like, I'm like hiding in the back of the classroom and things like that. But I got into it then, and I'm like, let's try these courses out. Let's do dancing, let's do modern dance, let's do public speaking, and let's do acting. Let's do some theater. And I was so nervous, I almost peed my pants. Like the first, theoretically speaking, and possibly literally, almost pissed my pants. But I got over it. I'm just like, this is kind of fun. Let me do more. So I ended up getting a minor in theater, and I got on some listservs, and they had some jobs open. They're like, hey, this production is they need some extras, or they need some actors on this.
Sure.
Would you guys like to audition for them? And I'm like, oh, this is fun. Let's do this. So that was the beginning of it.
Okay. Now, is there anybody that has inspired you to become an actor, or do you have like a role model, or who do you look up to? Who inspires you to do what you do as far as acting in your film production company?
So film production, I was inspired by my peers, like I told you, because they were so talented, like they shot all these great films, and I'm like, oh, I want to shoot films like them. This is so great. Like, this looks so fun, and
yeah,
the possibilities are endless. So I just want to pick up a camera and go. Like, this is so fun. So they were definitely my people that inspired me to get into filming for myself, for sure. And for acting, I have so many actors that I look up to, all the regular actors like Sir Benedict Cumberbatch and, Robert Downey Jr. and people like that who we always hear about. Johnny Depp, Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee. And he was the one that got me into like, oh, this is such a such a great looking guy, and he's such a great actor. He's so expressive, but yet he died so young. He had his whole life ahead of him.
Right, right.
So he definitely inspired me. I'm studying his work. I'm watching more of his stuff. I mean, he started as the Crow back in 1993, and that's where he died ultimately.
Sure.
From a set freak accident that took place. Yeah, I mean, he's inspired me to actually get out there and just do this. We are Asian and Caucasian in ancestry, so for me, just to see a guy that expressive and that talented just getting pushed up to the top, I'm just like, wow, this is very inspiring. I want to do what he's doing.
Right. Now, do you ever envision yourself like pushing yourself to a limit, or like, do you think or maybe you already come to like a place where you're like kind of at the wall where like I'm not sure what else to do, or is it like pretty much your path is unlimited?
So for me, I want to keep pushing until I can't push anymore. And I guess for me, until you can't push anymore doesn't really exist. So I just want to keep pushing. Okay. I feel like, there's always going to be something, and that's for everybody, not just for me. Like everybody can keep pushing. There's no limit on anything. We can always improve.
Right.
We can always learn.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, just keep pushing for it. And the possibilities are endless. Like you can always improve. You can always get better at acting. You can always improve at filming.
Sure.
I mean, you can always improve that, cooking, like it's just like everything else in life.
Right, right.
So I guess the short answer to that is, for me, there's no ceiling, and if there's a ceiling, I want to break through it. It's like glass. So I just want to grab a ice pick or whatever, just break through that glass and just keep moving up,
Okay. So your glass is half full.
I guess, if you want to put it that way. I didn't. Yeah. So
if you don't try it, you'll never know.
Exactly. Yep. You always have to try to know. Yeah. And a lot of people sometimes are like, oh, maybe this is it for me. It's like, no, keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah. Because I mean, who knows what's the next bump that you're going to get over?
Yeah, exactly. Because if you quit ahead, then
another
you're always
path. Yeah. So
absolutely.
So speaking of your background, do you show films to other countries? I don't know what your background is, but do you translate it into your language and show it to other countries, or put subtitles, or is what you do just pretty much in English and based in the United States?
Pretty much, yeah. Just based in the old USA. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's an idea too. I mean, we could start translating our stuff and show it in other countries. But right now, I mean, YouTube's been very international. So yes. I've been putting my stuff on there. It's been showing in every other country as far as I'm aware of, because I have analytics, and I can go in and see what countries it's being shown to and what countries are blocked. And there are a handful of countries where they block it. They block the media from coming in. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, I don't see any countries that very much that it's being not shown in, pretty much. So I guess in terms of like the the subtitles and things like that, that's actually I haven't thought about that. So that's something that we gotta look into.
Yeah, no, I was curious because I've done some editing, or I've put films on YouTube, and it gives you that drop down button to pick a language that you can present it in. I think there's a bigger audience in other countries because the United States offers so much as far as entertainment. I mean, you have like Bollywood and other in Africa, they've got their Hollywood there too, where there's a lot of great movies. A lot of people are into like foreign films and stuff. So, I was curious. So
absolutely, yeah. I mean, absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, I've just been showing everything here, but I'm sure if I showed it somewhere else, I mean, it might get a lot more traction. I mean, it just depends.
Sure. Do you sell any of your short films or any films online, like on Amazon or Apple or anything?
Not as of yet. Everything's been online or at film festivals and things like that. We haven't really, I guess that's something we should have done, but at the same time, it's like, for us, I guess the best way to explain this pretty much is because we're in this because we love doing it so much that we really, after all these years, we haven't really thought of like the monetary things out of films. I mean, we've gotten monetary, backing, things like that for other things that we've done, not really for films. So as of yet, we just enjoy it so much that we're like, you know what, let's just share it online, or let's show it at a film festival and things like that. So it's
Well, and
They're more-
film festivals are a lot of fun, and they're a great experience, and plus you get to network.
Oh,
with
absolutely.
people. Yeah. Speaking of film festivals, have there been a lot of like online festivals? Just
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've gotten a lot of emails over the past several months about short film festivals and comedy shorts and things like that online. I've been busy with life just like everyone else. So we haven't really applied to any of them, but there have been so many opportunities where we could have sent our projects online and things like that. So yeah, the opportunities are certainly there. We just haven't done it for our own financial, situation right now. We got to be smart with money. So
Right. And yeah, and it's also very competitive too. You have to have like
it is
a good marketing niche to do that. So we have to wrap up things pretty soon, but onto your acting and your acting skills. What is a role or a part? What is your dream role? What is the one role that would just make your year that you've always wanted to do? Whether it's like the evil twin or somebody who's just like a comedian or a mass murderer or.
Well, all those roles sound a lot of fun, but I guess my dream role is to be a regular guy, a loving husband. I see this being like a dramedy or like a kind of drama action kind of film where I am just a regular guy. I'm a regular average Joe guy, and I have a loving wife and kids, or even just a loving wife, and something goes down and I'm like, okay, well, stuff's gone real. Try not to use profanity here. But stuff's going down. We got to do something about this. So I'm pretty much it's everything encapsulated into one. So I would be the leading man, and I would be the romantic interest and things like that. And that's something that I've always wanted to delve into. I've had a couple of projects where it kind of teased that idea, and I've done some of it. Okay. But I feel like since I know I'm probably going to get a little bit flack for this, but since I am not 100% Caucasian, it's hard, because our industry, I guess I'm going to get some flack for this, but our industry is just built on a lot of stereotypes and things like that, a lot of roles.
Right, but don't you think with Black Lives Matters and things, that's kind of opened up the door to ethnicity and to race, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think, and I know, I did some modeling in the past, and they were always looking for somebody who had that type of look where it's kind of like in between, like I kind of have an exotic look, right? I don't have that, sometimes I can have like an American look, but I do have that exotic look. And so that's one thing people would look for because they want that. They don't want the typical stereotype thing. So
Right.
Don't you think that in film that will change? Especially since what just happened here this past year.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and I think Hollywood is getting more represented with different races and ethnicities and things like that. But I guess what I was mentioning earlier is that it sometimes like there are stereotypes and there are like little pigeonholes where casting directors would fit people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I want to break through that. I want to be, I know I don't look like these gentlemen, but I want to be a leading man like Paul Walker. I want to be a leading man like Ryan Reynolds, like Deadpool.
And there's no reason why you can't.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But, there's politics in Hollywood. There's things like that. So, we have to kind of like essentially get past the BS and, forward. So that's what it is. So I'm pushing it. I'm pushing very hard, since the very beginning. Like I've always marketed myself a certain way so I don't fall into different niches and things like that. I try to be more open, like I'm not inclusive. So I'm like, you know what? If you want to hire me just for any role, I'll take it, and I'll take as many as I can get. Right. And I want to play anything and everything, Okay. So I don't like sticking to one thing because that's boring, and we're actors. We're not boring. We're always a lot of fun. It's always something. It's never nothing. So yeah, I like to keep my options open, and I like to keep myself open. So anything is possible, and I don't like being bogged down. So. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kevin. This has been great. Very informative. Where can people find out more information about you and your brother and your production company?
You can go on YouTube.
Yes.
Or you can, if they're lazy, they don't want to look for it, then they can just go onto YouTube and type in Farmer Pig Productions. Okay. And when they search that, they'll see the little pig logo. It's in black and white, like kind of etched out, drawing with like a pig head with like a farm hat, pretty much. That's us. That's our emblem. or you can look us up on, Facebook. We have a page as well on Instagram. My personal Instagram is Monsieur Kevin. That's mine. And we also have our production company Instagram as well, Farmer Pig Productions.
Okay.
So that's our handle for that. So yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have a website, or do you have plans for doing a website in the future?
We have plans to create a website. We should have done it by now, but we haven't really done it because of everything with COVID and everything like that. Right. But we honestly need to do that, but we don't have anything just yet. So
okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Show. I mean,
thanks for having me. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just tuning in now, make sure that you catch us on the web at yourbusinesstv.com. That's URBUSINESS TV.com. We look forward to seeing you next time.